Here we go again. This is the goal in mind. I just keep it with me because it's the goal in mind. Trying to get this 34 Chevy 4-door to look and resemble this little dinky toy. Hot Wheels, I should say. Hot Wheels, not dinky toy, Hot Wheels. As I get going, I'm very happy with the way it looks. I'm very happy with the way it looks. There's a few things that that I'm looking at all the time. When we shut the camera down, and me and Jolene got to look the car over after we got the doors up and put it back like that. We tacked the door gap 3/16, 1/8, whatever it is. As we did that and we got it laid on there, then it was time to walk around the car. And I spied everything up because everything was not exactly right. I mean, is it too wide? Is it too narrow? Is the doors in too far? Are the top doors out too far? It's something that you have to look at every piece, You don't want the bottom of the door out farther than the top of the door when we nail it to the frame table. We want it level in the back. We want it level and square as possible at all times. And that's basically what we did. We disconnected a few things. We did a couple things. And what we did notice on the car after we shut it down, we have a new square piece of tubing in here. Jolene helped me weld it in. What has happened there, we noticed that the doors come out. You can see where we were tacked before on the doors were tacked out here. And we noticed that when the door comes down like that, it kinked off and went this way. So what we did is we pinched the back, the quarter panels. As the quarter panels are just small, we just got this little piece. We've got an open roof. We pinched them, so now we've got a nice line. You come up this line, baby. Just put your camera on this line here. From there, please. From back. From there, now we got a nice line coming back, and then it just rolls back gently. Before, it went like this, and then like this. We couldn't have that because it didn't, the doors on a car come like that and like this. I didn't want that. So we pushed it in, we pinched the back. So now we've got a little bit of area in the roof that's looking funny. One side of the roof is up in the air. So I hope that my class can guess what I'm going to have to do. And guessing is okay. If you don't know for sure, I always guess all the time. But what I'll have to do is I'll have to shrink that corner. And what I mean by shrink that corner is do the exact same thing I did on the roof on that side. You can see how I split it down there. What I did is I split it. I put it in where it should be. You overlap it, and then you zip cut it again, and then you have the perfect butt weld. Basically about it. And what you're doing is you're taking metal away. And that means you're shrinking it because you've zip cutted it, overlapped it, zip cut it again so you have a perfect line, and then you butt weld it back together. As I get doing this, I'll put that right up there on the Pepsi machine. As I get doing this, me and Jolene have been looking at it, and the roof's up there, and it's acting all funny and stuff. But as you see here, it's been outside for quite a while, flapping in the wind, and that's why I kind of brought it in to maybe tack it together. But anyways, you can see how it's broke free all the way over here. Just as soon as I go to put that back in place, you watch the other side of the roof. That's how simple things are bending and getting back into place if you just do a little investigation. If we had welded this all together and had the doors out like this and the body like that, it would have been hard to get the roof connected. As we have the windshield here, you have to remember we have the front doors and the back quarter panels. The back of the car would be the widest part from the cowl. So from back here, the back of the car would be the widest. So it comes into a, I guess it comes into a point somewhat. So as the back is the widest, I want to make this fit that. So as we pinched it together, as we get looking again, you have to keep looking. The window looks like it can line up with the roof. Before we had it and went like that. So if we had the roof out here, it had to come like this, and then the roof went like this. Now we got it pinched in. Now we can probably line that up with this window post. as this window post is laying here, it's bent there in the center, because that's my hinge. I just hinged it in one spot to lay it down. That's all I did. We're going to have to cut that off. It's going to have to be cut off and put on there after, and you have to eye it up, 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 and eye it up, basically. On the table, someone said, well, you're moving the table around. Why does it, what does that make a difference when you're moving the table around on an unlevel floor? Well, the floor can be unlevel all it wants to. I'm measuring now that I've got it tacked to the table. I'm measuring from the table. Hope that makes sense. The table is not going to change its place, so now I've got the car tacked on there. It can change if I go to the floor. I'm not measuring from the floor. The table is also how you tack it and hold it together. Could you imagine me trying to hold this on the floor? You wouldn't be able to get it together. It would fall all over the place. You'd have to have 6 people, 2 people holding the front, 2 people holding the back, and that sort of stuff. Yeah, so right at the present moment, I want to fill the quarter panel. I want to try to fill the quarter panel in, and I want to try to make the roof line up. That's what I want to try to do, and that's what I'm going to try to do. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to make a pattern of this quarter panel, and I'm going to cut it out of this back door. Same metal, same patina, same everything, just probably not the same shape. Glasses there, knee pads are there. So we basically did not do anything to it when the camera got shut off, other than I spy another brace. Another brace, and try to make it, think about it a little bit. There's been a lot of comments again. We are going to give away another hat, and I'll tell you what. I woke up feeling good this morning. It feels good. Watch your step, baby, when you're going backwards. It feels good when you get up in the morning, and we have got more viewers and more compliments and comments, and we have to give away a hat because we said we would. It makes you want to get up and do it in the morning when that happens. When you're working towards something, or if you have a goal and you're able to keep going forward all the time, you really get motivated to do it more. And I want to thank everybody for the motivation, because that's what it is. It's motivation. When more people comment, more people watch, more people subscribe, that means more people are interested in what we're doing. And we're not doing anything bad, that's for sure. I've got something in my throat. All right, we're going to give away another hat. Not right now, at the end of the video, but we're going to give away another hat because all the comments. And thank you very much again. Thank you very much again. But I got to go to work to earn my respect. So this is what I'm going to do. I got a hole over here, and I want to put that door in there. I don't want to put the door in there. I want to put the sheet metal that I have there in the door. And I'm going to make it a little bigger. Than necessary. Scissors. I just put that down on there because I got the door down at the bottom. I want that to go down at the bottom too, right to the table. So I'm welding it to the table, not the floor. And once you get it there, you should be fine. So what I did is I put it flat on the ground, like on the table, marked the line there. That's where I'm trying to go, underneath that line. Went back here and marked underneath this line. And I should be fine. I'm just going to take and cut that off. And it's good to make it a little bit bigger than necessary, because you can always trim it back a little bit. Once you cut it shy, you just started to take away your advantage. And your advantage is you had a bigger piece to start with. Yeah, I got that. Does not look straight going down there, but that's okay. Well, it looks like a pretty good gap, doesn't it? I'm going to shove it ahead just a little bit, just because I'd rather have it big than shy. I'm going to go in on this side and do some tracing. That's staying where it's supposed to be, is it? No. What? Yeah. That's scary. I'm going to tape it just for shits and giggles, just because it's, I think that's got it in it. Isn't it? I got it in it. Should I tape it or cut it? I'm scared. Yeah. Thanks, baby, for the confidence. Once I cut it, I'll know if it fits. Thanks, baby. I was scared to cut it. I was thinking I was cutting my door. Exactly, baby, exactly. Alrighty, we're good. Whole wheat shreddies. That's down in there a little bit. To nothing. Just made a fine adjustment there, that's all. To nothing. Take a little bit off that. Wow. Tune her up a little bit. I'll still have to tune the metal, obviously. I'm noticing one thing. You got horses cutting this stuff, getting up close. So I'm just making a pattern for the back. I'll lay this on that door back there, and it'll look mucho gracias. What's that mean? Oh well, thank you for watching. I wish I spoke all the languages. I just don't know if I'm smart enough. Must be quite a sign of intelligence, I think, speaking a lot of different languages. You'd have to have a memory on you, wouldn't you? Now, it's a little big on the front here. Don't mind that. And I'll tell you why. Because if it's a little big, I can trim it back. Also, I can make the perfect line on the inside. When I look at the edge of the door, I can come in with the zip cut and run the zip cut right up through it and make the perfect gap. And then I'll do it that way. This here is because I'd like to weld it right underneath that belt line. There'd be no seam going on there. Right here is I can weld it right on the wheel well itself. So now I can weld that up here. I can weld that right along the wheel well itself all the way down. We'll have to make our own spot down here. And that's basically what's going on. So now I'm going to transfer this to the door. Transfer this to the door. It is what it is. So there's what I can get. I'm going to go with the bottom of it. I'll have to straighten that out with the dolly. Push this back as far as we can get it. Oh, turn it down a little bit. Come on. You think it'd be easier than that to line that up. It's not. I'm going to go with that for now. There's a lock underneath that. I'm going to have to take that out. There's a lock there. So what I'm going to do is, the sheet metal in this car is amazing for being, well then again, John kept it in a hay barn for I don't know how many years. I'm going to have to ask him again how many years he kept this car. He kept it for us. Didn't he, baby? Huh? He kept it for us. Yeah, so I'm going to cut this off, jam it on there, then we'll get to view what the quarter panel looks like. That grinder right there, she got some torque. You should be careful grabbing that grinder with one hand and giving her a flick with the button. Jolene looks amazing this morning. You might even get to see her if I need some help on the roof there. Hey? You might even get to see her. All right, see that line right there? I'm going to mark that again. I do not want to make a mistake on that. Not really. I could, but it wouldn't be fashionable. Put that back on there. Basically. Is it free there, or is it just not free? Come on, baby, come perk. I'm going to cut this off here. Keep cutting shit. I learned that from, who did I learn that from? I'm not sure who he was. There, we got a piece of wood in there still. See what's going on. I'd like to have that piece, but it's holding me up. See, I said I'd like to have that piece. It's holding me up. Let's see here. Now, just got to get this off. There we go. Get off. I made that mistake. Gotta straighten that out a little bit. That just takes a dolly and a hammer. It's going to look nice on there because it's going to fill that hole, fill that void. Fill that void. It's fun to talk to Jolene at nighttime because plans change a lot on the car. You know, should we leave it like this, or you know, should we paint? You know, it's just fun to. It gives us something to talk about. It really does, to whether we should do it one way or another way, or should we keep working on it. You know. I'm going to. What I have to do right here now is I've got to cut it to allow it to go in there. I'm not cutting that. Not cutting this off. That's going to stay there for now. I'm going to get rid of the lock button, and I'm going to put this piece on if I can get that marker out of my pocket. Ooh, that wasn't my marker. Jeez. Over there. I'm just going to cut it off below there. And I know it has to go all the way in. So I'm going to cut all the way in. It has to be gone. So I'm just going to go from here. And get rid of that lock. I want to get rid of that lock. Could do a little tiny lock. I still got to cut that off. I still got to cut that off. And that's in order to get that in there. This piece has got to go past that. Getting down to the good metal now. I can put that on some more than that. Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. I think. So, that piece there will fit on just like so. So, put that overlap there a little bit. So, if you come take a look, baby, come take a look. This piece here will weld on the wheel well here. Weld on the wheel right down that nice seam there. Weld on that beautifully. We'll weld it up here, across underneath there, around that thing, and then we'll make our own. We'll have to make a door post. I mean, there's no way around it. We have to make a door post, and that's not a problem. We got it welded to the table. We take the shape of this and apply it on the inside of a thicker steel and apply it to our. We're going to have to put a sill on this thing first. If you know what I mean, like a house, you put a sill all the way around. I'm going to have to put a sill all the way around the inside of this car, and then I'll build my post and my cross members off of that. I want to get a pair of these to hold that there, just for me and you, obviously. People that are watching, see what it looks like. Just going to overlap it there. So that's a visual, what that piece, I want to leave that there because I want to make my own. See that the door's got a different line going down there, and I can make my perfect gap, leaving that little bit there. But now I can weld that underneath there nice and weld that down there nice. And then this is what we're going to do. I'm going to pull this back. I'm going to pull it back this way, sweetheart. And we'll show you what it looks like with the fender on it on the other side. So we'll go on the other side. So we're not moving this is what it looks like on that side. So we got a piece in there with the fender on it. You can get a good visual from behind me if you want. And that's basically all it is visuals. Visuals that you have to look and see if it's looking right. But it's kind of just laying there, like we've got quite a bit of gap going on. This fender has to come up, obviously, to weld to that. This has to be pushed in to weld to that. But you're getting the basics of what's going on. The fender stops here. Like the fender's running almost level with the table. So when we get the fender on, we will get the fender on the way it should be. Probably should come ahead a little bit and run nice with this. On the Pepsi machine. On the little car, they have quite a nice running board. Beautiful running board, actually, right there. It's nice. So, if you can't see it, I'll put it right there. So on this car, this is my plan. This is my plan. Stick with us because we're probably going to try to do the roof too. This is my plan here. This quarter panel that we got in here, we'll have to weld that in there, get that in place. We might show you that part, I'm not sure. Anyways, there's going to have to be a new piece of metal coming here at the bottom of this fender. And we're going to have to get this effect. Actually, that's what we want it to do. We want it to draw the... There's another thing too. As we try to make this car look like the other car, there was no body lines in their car. And, as we say, we're trying to make it look like their car. There was no body lines in the car. Anyways, we're going to go for the scallop. And I'm just going to draw it on right underneath this line because it's the only chance it looks like to... Ooh. And then we'll take the paint off, wiping that off. I don't want to take the paint off the car, but I'm wiping. You could never do anything over the marker. I can wipe it off with a thinner. That'd be fine. Tape would probably make it look better. You can probably see it. Yeah, you can very rarely see it. But what I'm going to do is, as you see on this car, the scallop fits right in that running board. The scallop fits right in the running board. So basically, that's what we want to try to do. We won't run her like that, though. Will we, baby? So anyways, that's what we're going to try to do, just run that along there. But what I'm saying on this body here, on the outside, once the fenders are welded on, once this is welded on, there's going to be square tubing welded on that shape coming up this door, all the way up to the cowl, square tubing. And the reason being is because that's where the running board's going to go. When we shove the metal in, that's what the metal's going to lay on, is a square tubing. When the running board is made, then we can release the door. The doors will not be released until the post is made, the running board. When I put this piece of square tubing from here to here, you must admit that it's going to hold that car. You're not going to be able to pull that car apart. You're not going to be able to pull it apart. With the cowl welded together, then you can't pull it apart that way. When I get the back cross members, and you can't pull it apart that way. So this will really help on the, like it's almost like an inside sill, but this is I'm going to do it on the outside and the inside. So there's going to be a bar running across up through here, lay your metal on it for your running board, then you can continue on with your fender. That's what I'm thinking. Nothing's set in stone, ever. Never. Now I'm just going to, bear with me, there'll be lots to come back off and the tape might not be quite right, whatever. Just, we're going to try to get up there somewhere. On the bottom, so that just shows the running board. How thick, so I'm just going to look and see how thick it is there. Run it back. So I'm going to go about here. That's where I'd like to run my square tubing, about there. And then it would come out to a point here with this line, I guess. And then the fender will be up here at the top of this line in the front. And then it come to a point. So now it looks fine from that far back. If we look this far back, there's quite a, if you look at this one, there's quite a distance if you look at the front cowl to the top of the fender. There's got to be a distance there. It's not bad. I mean, let's face it. It's just a practice run. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to run square tubing from here, all underneath that or on that line or whatever, right up to there. Running board will lay on top of it, which will weld to the fender. We'll make a nice round piece that lays on top of it, and then we'll add to the fender. Alrighty. I want to cut. It's hard to say. We're going to move on. I'll just explain enough. I'm going to move on to the roof. You can see where... yeah, you can come take a look. You can see how the old cars are made. You can see where it's welded together back there in the corner. So when you start making something, or you want to pound something out or make something, you have just realize for a second, do half of one shape on one side and do half a shape on the other side, weld them together, and then you get the whole thing. To try to make all that out of one piece, it's you know, for me, that'd be really difficult. But to do half and half and weld it together and put it in there, it takes some time, but you can do it, because I can. I'm going to cut this, relief that, let that down a little bit. Actually, I should pull it over and fix the other side maybe. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull it over and fix the other side first, or take a look at the other side. Yeah, I had to do that. I had to do that the other day, so I kind of had to do that. I'm going to bring it over here and try to weld the roof on the other side to try to get, you know, I got to get it looking close before I repair. I sort of got to fix it before I repair it, if that makes sense. Jolene gave me a haircut last night. So kind of her. Now the helmet don't fit, baby. Now the helmet don't fit. We got a ground on. How many minutes we in? 34. We're doing good then. We're doing good then. So we've got quarter panels on. I think, to me, I don't know. Looks good. I'm happy with it. Happy with it. We can be happy with the fruits of our labor, can't we, baby? Huh? Happy with the fruits of our labor. Now, it has a double-edged lip on that right there. I could pull that back and use it. I still got more to cut here if I want to, right? turn that down a little bit. I'm going to turn the welder down a little bit because what I got going on here is stress crack all up this roof, and I try to want to put it back in place before I go to fixing. Stick with her, she'll weld. She'll weld. Just gonna stick with it. It's amazing how come on. Try to hit the hot. Just getting a little bit lazy. A little bit lazy. And that is getting a grinder. That's all that is, getting a grinder. Just being lazy doing that, not getting a grinder. Jolene has, we are filming on the door, but that's up to them. Isn't it, baby? Said that just right, didn't I? It's up to them. And we might want to see them too, you never know, eh? Tina's mad at them. Nah, she's not mad, she's letting us know. I'm just going to pull that down a little bit. Delicate, very delicate. They'll have to understand the sign, I guess. At least they knocked. Bending that down. I'm going to tack that there. Good. So we just got it back together. It's not perfect, that's for sure, but it's back together. Did make a difference on that side. Hello. Oh, it's Tim. Yeah. We're working. Come on in.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if you were.
We're working. We're making.
Stage. If we had the stage, oh, you do have the fucking stage.
Oh, don't be scared and frightened now. Have a seat. Have a seat, and we'll be right with you.
Yeah.
You can be the audience. Jolene wanted an audience. You said, didn't you?
I don't have my tomatoes, man.
Okay. I don't have my tomatoes. I get it. I get it. There's a stool somewhere if you want to grab a seat. I'm just going to finish up here. But anyways, as I got this on here, it looks to me as I come back here that the roof, you come back here and take a look too, baby, if you want to. Everything's out of whack right now because this is more down one side, whatever. But I can tell that this is up higher than that side. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do a magic trick and shrink that here. It's not a magic trick, but you know, some people think it is, I guess. I'm going to take the grinder. There's a stool there, and there might be another one in the room there if you're, I need a zip cut maybe, no, I just need power. I'll get behind you.
There's a quarter.
Yeah, we get it wound up. We're just going to make the roof fit, Tim. As soon as we get power, we'll split the roof. What I'm going to do is I'm going to split in this roof. I'm going to go with the obvious. What I mean by go with the obvious, it's already split there now. You can see where it's been split, where it's been shaking and going on, and how it's ripped and got that way. So I'm just going to carry on. I'm going to cut a little ways more maybe. Watch this, baby. When you can see now, as soon as I cut it, you can see how it wanted to go down. how it's overlapping. Now when I get it down in place where I want it, pinch it with a pair of pliers, start at your very same line, zip it again, and you'll have a perfect... What's up, sweetheart? Yeah, I will. I'll get a pair of vice grips first. So, what I've done here is this roof was stuck in the air, and I wanted it to come down. I don't want to hurt it that much, but I want it to come down. What has to happen is material has to come out of that roof to come down, because if I try to push it down, it'll kink and buckle. So instead of letting it kink and buckle, I took notice of it first by just looking at it. Basically, looking at it. And what I know is that had to be shrunken there to come down some. And to get it down, I cut it where it was obviously ripping because it was moving, pushing up there. It must have been pushing on its side and kept pushing it up and whatever. But as I'm trying to shrink it, I cut it. I push it down, and I push the other piece over top of it. So there's metal. When there's metal that goes underneath my original zip cut, that tells me that I'm taking metal away from it, so I'm actually shrinking it. I'm going to vice grip it. Now you can see, if you come see, you can see how it's overlapped there. Yeah. So now, if I take my zip cut and I follow the line that I have on the top here, if I follow this line on the top here, that means there'll be a piece of metal that'll be cut out from the top. It'll fall on the ground, but that'll be the extra metal that we had that need to be gone to get the roof to look the way we want it to look. So in all fact, we shrunk the roof. Now you come back and take a look there, baby. Now as we come back and take a look at the roof, we're looking at this point and that point, and it's looking fair. It's not all the way, is it? It's not exactly down far enough yet, is it? Or I'll have to take a look. Well, you can't go by the windshield either. You can't go by the window because the window's crooked. I should probably just cut that window out of the way. That's what I'm going to do. Cut the window out of the way. Also, when I hinged that, it bent that just a little tiny bit. We're going to have to make sure that is straight across there, because that's a flat glass window, and that's why we're, doing what we're doing with it. We're not bracing it all up and stuff. This is just safety glass. You take a pattern on a cardboard, take it to your local glass guy, and they'll cut it for you. It's safety glass. The curved glass is the stuff that costs more money, and when you break it, you got to buy a new one. So we'll just put that there for now. What happens is I'm going to take and look at the roof again to get a truer read with the back window. I think it's not bad. It looks maybe down just a smidgen. Just like a little bit more salt is what I'm trying to say. A little more salt. Just a sprinkle. I think I'm going to go with that. So I'll take the zip cut. Get one of my... I like to get on the stool, but cut that. I guess I don't have to. Now what I can do here, you watch to see what I do here. Got a new haircut, if I didn't tell you already. Push that together, it'll come, see how, like that. I didn't cut it all the way, because it would have flew apart. I got the vice grip holding it up there. So I'm just going to push that down a little bit, bring that together. Pretend they like each other. Got the welder turned down because we're butt welding on the roof. I can feel it with my glove whether it's flush or not. Now I can take my vice grips off. That's my mount after I'm done. Did you like that, Tim? That's what they do on gymnastics. Should have mounted too quickly. I got a big gap there. But anyways, we'll go to the front. Get a little tiny tuck pucker there. We'll go to the front and then take a look at the roof. Yeah, it looks better. It looks better to me. I'm going to fill the roof in. We're going to fill the roof in. So I guess it doesn't much matter. We're going to flip-flop it around and all that sort of stuff. But I'm going to get a hammer in here and take a little bit out of her. The least amount of times you have to hit your car with a hammer, the better. Simple as that. Every time you hit it with a hammer, you're denting it or moving it around. And I'll hit it again. If you know what I'm trying to say. The least you hit your car, the better off you'll be without the hammer. I try not to hit any pieces that I'm putting on. You know, you'll hit something in, try to knock it tight, but you don't want to smash it to get it in tight. You're trying to get the edge in tight maybe or something like that. But to continuously hit a piece of metal with a hammer as you're trying to fit it is not generally what I like to do. I'm going to cut this roof off here, I guess. I've got some pieces here. These are the original panels that I cut off to start with. They're bent up too. So this, and they're off, so I can fix them a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount some on here. And I think I'm going to about this area right here maybe. Or maybe even a little further, maybe this area. So I'm going to jump out of the water, and I'm going to cut them off here in a second at a length. I'll cut them on that side of the first one. I'm going to cut them both off on this one. So there's two holes, should be the exact same thing in that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not measuring, I'm just cutting them off. Because they got holes in them already, they must put the holes on the same side, wouldn't they? That's what taught us, they did. The people before us, I'm saying. Disregard. We'll keep that. We might need it, but I cut off the roof. That's why that's acting funny. I had two grinder discs on top of each other. They were in love. What's that, sweetheart? Okay. Just like that. New grinder disc. That could be painted. Not sure. Not sure. I'd like to get the roof on though. Get that tacked on. It'd be nice to lay that roof to it. And I'm doing the exact same thing to this one. Hi, Fina. Right behind the third one, we said. Right ahead of it. Yeah. Yep. I don't like that already. That's not it. That's not it. That's for the the other side. I'll come over there. I'll do that one. I'm just going to take this over here. What I can do is set up a little jig. How high I want it. We'll cut this and we'll just set the roof on top of it maybe. See if we can't slide this bad boy together. There's some metal. There's some metal right there. Get a pair of pliers. This stuff is generally pretty easy to work with because it's one sheet of metal. You can bend it. Like if I got a problem here, I can bend that around, you know, it's just metal. You know, if it needs to be straightened or if it needs to be hit with a hammer or whatever it needs to be, you can do it. Stick that in there. I don't know if I like it unless. I cut that down some. Let that come down some right there. And that's what I'm going to do. Sorry, sweetheart. If I needed that big of a gash, but yeah, I think I did. This one here is not letting me go in and do what I want to do, so I'll cut this one. That's aimed way out there. I'm just cutting what I think I need to cut to make it fit. No more, no less, maybe sometimes too much. Well, it's basically going to be some plier thing, I guess. I'm going to try and plier that together. If you come take a, if you're where you're at, you can see that that right there can make a decent line when I get that welded or screwed together or whatever. I think that can make a decent line. I really do. I'm going to try to vice grip it on the top on that side. You know what I'm saying? Decent line from that. It's not a bad transition. Thing's still got nails in it. I'm going to try to put a pair of pliers on that, see if these will work. Yeah, for me to start tacking anything on this, right there, right here at the present moment, would be foolish. Just got to get it sort of sitting together and iron it up and see what you can do. A little manpower on her, see, we can get to make it look good, you know what I mean? Get it coming together, then we can, I see there's a, take and move that. What I got going on here is we got to check it out. I got the roof coming out this way. I got to get going that way. So that means I got to take them vice grips off, shrink it. You might shrink it. Once this goes on, as you can see, once this goes on, I'll draw the line. I'll zip cut it, and then I'll butt weld it together. But I want to have everything tacked together first. So we're going to turn, turn, turn. So now we're going towards there. That's good. Happy with it. Very happy. You know, I'm just with vice grips hanging off it. Let's get real. Like, I'm just happy with what we can get the roof to do. We just have to get it come down there a little bit more. And we can do that. We can change that line a little bit. It's good. Got the other one. We'll have to hold the window up to it and see if we can reach it. You know what I'm trying to say, baby? That's when we'll get you into, give me a hand. I cut that, and it probably don't need to be cut. I'm going to push this table towards you, sweetheart. Okay? Okay. Just because I'm going to weld this side, or unweld it, or weld it, or whatever. Just trying to make it look like something with basic stand back, take a look at it, tic-tac it, patty-whack it. When we get to the house, we'll give you a bone there, Fina. So, I've got it tacked up in here, which probably I want to maybe jam it underneath there a little bit. I have no idea. Yeah, I want to cut that out of there. Remember, I cut the other side. But I just want to throw a tack on up here somewhere. So, it stays in place. Because we're already rocking and rolling around there now. I want to get it to stay in place the best as can. Man, them quarter panels look nice. Get Jolene, weld them in. What, Jolene? Jolene, weld them in. You won't warp them either, will ya? Nope. Alrighty, I had a line. Remember, I cut a little bit out of here. I could do the exact same thing to this one. Get it to lean down. Just take that off. Just going to tack it another time. Come on. It doesn't want it. And I'm not going to force it right now because it could play with my nerves. So I'm just going to cut that. If it takes off, it takes off. Got the exact same thing going on here. Got a panel that's all split and gummed up and whatever. That's just from outdoors and being torn apart. They saved it for us, didn't they, baby? Huh? They saved it for us. Thanks, guys. You can see where they welded it together. So that means we can too. Haha. That's what it tells me. Nothing better than building a Bugatti on a Saturday. Comment, like, share, and thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it. Good stuff. This is all good stuff. Cut that. So I know what's stopping me now from getting that angled in is this roof is going straight. I got to cut this back and rely on this. Like right here on this piece of metal, like it's not letting this piece go in, so I have to do the exact same cut as I did to the bottom. You know, if I wanted to come down, I had to V it, and if I wanted to come in, I had to V it to allow, because this was running straight and this was running straight. Now I want, and that's what I'm looking for right there. Beautiful. I should tack that. Jump. I'm gonna get a vice grip. Should be all just tacked together for a long time until you'd be satisfied the way it looks. And then that's when you start plunking her to her. I plunked her to her a little earlier on the back, and it was not the right thing to do. Line it up. Come on. Here, deal with it for a second. There. Something here. Also, that's a nice, very nice, see that little piece going on there? Any problems whatsoever, it does not look good. I can zip cut that out once it's in place, and I put a piece of round rod in there and make it so it looks perfect. Can. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Now we got to be very careful of that. You can see we got a little bend in the center of the bottom post. We'd want to take that out before we put it up there. You have to be very careful of that stuff. Urethane, I guess, would fill that gap, but I'm just thinking of this here is also going to have to be split. I might as well split it now while I'm right here. Plasma cutter. We know that because we know that this is not going on the right angle. As soon as it comes here, it goes. Let's take a look first. Let's take a look first. What's it like? I got to. I'm going to take this off for a second. I'm going to make a cut. It should not hurt me, I don't think. I'm just going to cut this edge up a little bit because it's going to lay back. I'm going to cut this edge up because it's going to lay back. And I'm going to grab the welder and try to tack it on so I can just visually look at it. And that's about basically it. Just want to lay it up underneath there. I'm just seeing where I'm going. I might not even have to cut that up, that windshield. I might just have to lay it there. Not cut anything at all. Oh, I so want to. Babe, will you put the camera down? Come help me for a second. Yeah. I'm going to just put that in there. I'll get you. What I'll do is I'll get you to hold, and I'll just tack it, right? Woo woo! This look good. Does it look good from you? All right. See, then I'll know where to cut it. Actually, you give me the camera. I'll film you holding it, and then I'll eye it up, and then I'll cut the top, and we'll put it right up there. We'll tack it up there. What's that? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. She's an acrobatic, boys. Go backwards, not look, in a shop full of car parts. caliper. All right, I'm going to get you to stand in here. Hold this bad boy for me. You want a glove? Get a glove. Right there, right there. There's only, whoop, look at that. Hate to see you go down. Take a spill. All right, just be careful pushing down on this. If you push down anything, push down on that. You see that kind of flops down. I just got to take a quick look, take a quick look. Wow. Wow. Come down a little further. Yeah, I can just cut that off. Hey. There. I'm going to the other side, okay? Whoa! You got her, Pontiac. Pull that down. You might as well stay here, I guess. If you want to stay here for a minute, I'm just going to cut this off. If you want to unravel the plasma cutter there, sweetheart, that's what we'll do. I'm going to put some tape on that so I can see it better. Hook the air up to it for me, sweetheart, if you will. If the air's not on, I can get you to do that. That'll help me. I'll cut it. The quicker we get it up there. That I don't know. Tis now. There. I probably should cut with that. I can cut the. Yeah, I'll cut it. If I can get ground. Ah, wasn't not doing that. A pair of gloves on. I got them. What do you think, baby? I look like a Bugatti. Shh. Now I can breathe. All right, let's see if we can put that up on there. And any dust, anybody? I'm going to straighten that out a little bit before we Poke that up my ears. Video. Oh yeah, sorry people. It's not on purpose, that's for sure. Like the old saying goes, I'm too busy to worry about that. Just trying to straighten that out a little bit. It's because it got bent. I see, bye. Alrighty. Now, sweetheart, I can get you to whoop whoop. Look at that. Hickory dickory dock. I'm not going to say it. No, I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. I want you. I do. Come to me. Come to me, my sweet blondie. I need you now so badly to hold this roof. All right. What's going on? It's very easy to hold. Just kind of, just ease gentle, 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 gently. I'm going to grab the welder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the welder right around to you, I guess, and get a little closer. We're unplugged anyways. That's how I clean up tools. Just kick them out of the way. It gets that way because this process happens so much that you really have to, this process happens so much to move things and to readjust that you generally, after a while, you get tired of it and you start kicking stuff. I can't help it. That's just the way, that's the way I've learned it, I guess. If it ain't under the way, you kick it. Sweet music to my ears. Sweet music to my ears. Now, I'm going to tack each corner, and then we can adjust it in the center because I think. Watch this, baby. Watch this. See that corner where I cut that out of? Yeah. Right back where it was. Right back where it was. Hard to believe, eh? Hard to believe. Look at this corner. Right where it was. If you can't hear her on the mic, she's saying, wow. All right, you can let that go, I think. All right. What has to happen? That's holding that with that over there, right? Is what I'm saying. So what's going to happen here is, I can peel this tape off, because I might have to weld that there for some reason. Okay. So what has happened here, as we cut that off, we pivoted here and pie cut it here. We pie cutted it over here, because I took a bit off this window thing, and that allowed probably the exact same distance I pie cut it on either side, that distance to pull away from that to lay down. We're going to have to fill that in, obviously. Now what I want to do is just get to the side of the roof. Right now it's being held up with this very corner. Actually, no it's not. We just have to keep laying it back until we like it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to try to match this up. Cut this off and match that up with that. And then we got a pie cut up here to get that. So wow, that's something close, eh? So we'll do another little bit. We get a little more pie cut there. You got to cut a little metal off that to get that in there because it's hitting. I'm going to do something here right quick and see what happens. Ooh, that excites me. Geez, I said that to somebody and they got right offended that I got excited. And wow, I'm sorry that I said something and that I was excited. I didn't mean to offend. I was talking about me. Ooh, that roof roof took off. That's what I wanted to do, though. I need... That's just a matter of cutting that off to get that. I can't pull the roof down through this edge. You know, if you know what I'm trying to say, I cannot pull this down through that. So I really have to do some zip cutting and figuring. But I want those, please. How many minutes is it? I'll get this clamp and we'll shut her down. What? Oh yeah, then we have to do the giveaway. Sorry. But we're just kind of... I don't want to bend that. I don't want to bend anything at all, I'll be honest with you. I just wanted to set there and get visuals. Basically, that's it. Set there and get visuals. All right, let's do the... It's not looking bad, eh? Not bad. This part here, like I said, if I have any problem there at all, I will cut that out. I will put a piece of round rod in there and make it look like it's supposed to. Do not fret if this does not go. If it got a little tiny point there, I can fix that. I'll put a little piece of round rod in there and make it look that way. And we're going to bring that windshield down. We've got to cut this off here to match up with the window post. And how we do that, we look underneath and we trace it. And then we cut it off. So you go underneath here. You can see how the grips are holding it. And then you cut that off. You can zip cut that actually if everything's going right there. If you like what you're just seeing on the outside, and that takes more time. We can zip cut it here a little bit more and go down a little further if we like. We can go on the other side. You got to check that out too. And that's basically what we're going for. Whoop whoop, Bugatti. Let's do the giveaway. There was more than 500 comments on the last video. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. The more comments and the more subscribers we get, the harder we'll work because we feel like we're going forward. That makes sense, hopefully. If you're getting somewheres, it makes you want to work. If you're not getting somewheres, it discourages you. And that's what this bodywork's all about. Sometimes you get discouraged because it's not going the way you want it to go. So that means you have to back off for a little bit, cut it off, and fix it. And I've been doing it for quite a long time now, and that's exactly how I still do it. If I don't like it, I cut it back off and I fix it. You're going to see how many comments? I want to answer Lived T's question from yesterday. He said, when to use the plasma cutter or when to use the grinder? Well, it's called, I hate to say it, but I use common sense on that. If you do not want to hear the grinder roar all day, grab your plasma cutter if you can cut it. If you can't cut it with your plasma cutter, well then I guess you're going to have to grab your grinder. If you can't cut it with your grinder, I guess you go for the plasma cutter. So it's kind of, it's all up what you're used to and what you want to do. Sometimes it's easier to get in there and cut that weld off that square tubing than it was to jam that welder in there. So Jolene suggested the idea, grab the plasma cutter. So it's convenience, your preference, and job at task. That's when you switch up tools. Generally, grab the tool that does the job the fastest. But if you're trying to be precision, more people are good with a zip cut than they are a plasma cutter. So it's precision. You probably use a precision tool. You'd use a small grinder. You know, there's the best tool for the best job is up to the man holding the tool. Thanks for asking the question. I hope I answered it.
Okay, so we get the comments.
We're going to see how many comments there are. Hope there's over 500. We'll have to cancel.
671.
671. Whoop whoop. Sounds like a blower to me. Detroit, isn't it? 671 blower. Detroit. You say the name.
Dan Lasher.
Dan Lasher. We'll answer the question. Is there any question there or just a comment?
Very cool to see this coming together in front of our eyes. I look forward to seeing how the roof line comes together. Thanks for sharing every day.
Well, you'll like today's video. and we will not weld it until we like it ourselves. All right, have a good one, and thank you very much. And keep the subscribing coming and the likes and the comments, and we'll do it again. See you tomorrow.